Hello, Drag Race fans, and welcome into yet another ranking of outfits for a season. We are in season 4 today. So far, we've done season 2 and 3. We did not do season 1. And a very common trend in both season 2 and 3 is that they were dominated by one or two people and a smattering of maybe one surprise person showing up in that entire ranking. I'm very happy to say that for season 4, pretty much everyone in this season gets to be seen. There's only one duplicate, which is great. I really enjoyed the fashion this season. So this particular season, season 4, it's again still who's got the best wet seal outfit. This isn't necessarily a really high fashion season, but what everyone did was come into the show with a very unique style of drag. And I think we get to see a lot of very specific viewpoints, which is why this season has such varied favorite looks for me. And I'm sure my number one is going to get a lot of heat. People are going to be mad at me for it being my favorite one. I'm already sure of it. I don't care. I'm ready for whatever flack comes. But without further ado, let's get into the season 4 outfit ranking. And again, if your favorite doesn't make it onto this list, please don't get mad at me. This is my personal opinion based off of what I liked for this season. Let's get into this. I pulled all these photos from the Drag Race wiki, so credit to them for all these photos. In the number 10 spot is Latrice Royale during the Frenemies challenge. Now, I need to preface this by saying I know this is not something that Latrice brought with her. If I'm not mistaken, this is something that Willam put on her. This is something that Willam made. I love this look so much. The Frenemies challenge was one of those that was clearly designed for Jeremy and Sharon and was clearly created to cause beef with them, and everyone else was sort of a victim of having to deal with all of that drama. Willam and Latrice were not quite frenemies. They weren't really opposites in any way. They were very similar in a lot of ways. Very outspoken, very charismatic, very congenial in their own ways, very likable in their own ways. There wasn't really anything about them that felt frenemies to me, but yet they managed to make it work. Love this hair on Latrice. I love this red. It's so nice with the root. And then you've got this umbrella that I think is so cute. The whole outfit is giving Vegas. It's giving a skit that you would see in an actual bar. I need to say, as a personal annotation, I hate this song with a burning passion from all the groups. This was a terribly written song, and I hate every second of it. But what Latrice and Willam did on the challenge itself, for the performance, for these looks, were so solid. Love this silhouette on Latrice. Love how it almost looks like it's going to be this businesswoman type outfit initially on the left, but then the tearaway happens. And then it goes into this slutty, like Jessica Rabbit, Fredericks of Hollywood, sort of skimpy outfit with the garters and everything that are totally hidden underneath that first pink. This is a great look from Latrice, and I think even though this may not have been her usual gig, she looked so good. All right, moving into the number 9 spot is She Who Shall Not Be Named, and I'm so sorry to even bring her up. This undeniably was a great look, and I'm not going to talk about it too much because we all know that this was a stunning look. This was perfect for the challenge. If this challenge was not built for her in the same way that the Frenemies was for her and Jeremy, I'd be absolutely shocked and dismayed because in my opinion, I feel like this is one of those challenges that was made for her. If it was on anybody else, it would still be good. I just hate that it's on her because I don't want to platform her any further. I don't want to talk about her any further, but this still stands. Moving into the number 8 spot is Willam in the platinum and gold runway. Now, I know that this is a simple, basic nude dress that's literally, I don't even think you'd call it a dress. This is accessories and chains in the style of an outfit with panties. There is nothing to this. This is very apocalyptic. There's something very high fashion, red carpet couture about it. I don't know how Willam managed to wear so little and yet makes such a big statement. I love this Koopa shell that is on the shoulder here, this spiky Koopa shell. For platinum and gold, which is such a basic, simple challenge idea, I think you would think jewelry, necklaces in particular, chains, hardware that would normally go on an outfit. And what Willam did here was really smart. It was very thoughtfully themed for what the challenge was. And I just really like how it almost looks like this glamazon warrior ready to go to battle, ready to take down every bitch who didn't think that she deserved to win. And I love the hair too. Even if you can see the 5 o'clock shadow really bad. This was the progenitor episode of Willam's makeup troubles, kind of in these really early days. Willam stepped it up since then, but this was really that kind of pinnacle point that everyone references to, like, well, someone doesn't know how to do their makeup and they're still here, but Willam was turning it out look-wise. And that's not deniable. Moving into the number 7 spot is Chad Michaels during the Canine Couture outfit portion of the Bitch Ball. I really like this outfit for a lot of different reasons. This was one that they had to construct. She referenced Cruella de Vil, and I can see the inspiration. It almost looks more like a Rorschach test. You know, those little like black spots that they'll put on white paper and be like, does this look like a butterfly or a butthole to you? And then you look and you go, I don't see either one of those. I see existential dread of the housing crisis affecting me as not being able to afford any type of home. And then your psychiatrist looks at you and asks if everything is all right in your personal life, and you say no because your whole personality is Drag Race. Yeah, that's what this outfit is giving to me more than Cruella. I really love the hair. I love this sort of like pink dipped dye that's in the hair. I love the ends. The makeup is really smooth. She manages to get this sort of MILF on vacation in Aspen, going on the slopes probably. I love the pants, how sleek and form-fitting they are. And then there's this boot that probably she brought from home, that it's got this fur that's coming at the bottom. It doesn't quite look a lot like the dog. The dog is a very different color, and I think maybe that's what she was trying to emulate with the fur, was trying to give this little dog with these poofy legs and this little like puby looking tail that doesn't quite look right. I think that's what she was trying to emulate in a lot of ways, but I don't know if she got there, and she was in the bottom for a reason, because she didn't quite capture the dog's essence, but it's still a solid look, and I still like it, and it's one of my favorites from that entire ball. Moving into the number 6 spot is Willam. This is the only double, I promise, or at least I think it is, from the Pride Parade Extravaganza runway. The Pride Challenge is one of my favorite runways of all time. I think that if they ever redid this challenge, I would love to see that without the boats. Because let's be honest, the boat portion of this was evil. But what Willam did, stealing these little wheels off of something from the Interior Illusions Lounge, was brilliant. And I think she stole them from some chair, some office chair or something, because they didn't say that they couldn't use it. She just stole them and put them on there, which is brilliant. And it helps move the boat around, so Willam had a lot of mobility in ways that the other girls really didn't. But then you got this outfit, this jean bathing suit with this gorgeous coat that's over it. Beautiful, very Willam-esque hair for that era of Willam. Gorgeous makeup. Willam looks soft. Willam looks luxe. I love this boat. I love this outfit. I love the rhinestoning on it. It's very simple. It's giving classic drag. It's giving something that you would see in a nightclub from one of the like body girls. And overall, I love this. This is a top tier look. And I really wish they would bring this challenge back. Doing pride flag colors and educating about them, educating about queer history, using bandanas to give out to the queens for the color assignment, being hanky code colors, and talking about Stonewall, and having all these intricacies of queer culture, I think is something that Drag Race should aspire to do more often. And I love this look. So moving into the number 5 spot is Dida Ritz during the platinum and gold runway. And I know what y'all are thinking. Why is this number 5? Why is this good? And I gotta be honest, season 4 did not have fashion moments. They just didn't. Go back and look at any of those outfits and they were not giving what needed to be gave at the highest level of giving. These were all very basic outfits that you would see in a mall. And Dida was giving mall drag quite often at this era. But this look with these thick, chunky pieces of what I'm gonna assume is like a craft glitter supply that's been tacked onto this corset with this really interesting body shape that's happening at the legs, because it's almost giving something that had a skirt on it but it was removed, because there's that padding detail on it that looked like something was attached to it and then it was maybe recovered. This gorgeous sweetheart neck shape that goes up into almost like popsicle sticks or something that are on the shoulder. I don't know what those are. They look like old See's candy popsicle sticks that got glued on, but they could really be anything. I've tried to look up close to this so many times and try to figure out what that material is, but I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with this look. I'm obsessed with this cunty little bob that she's got. And I mean, this will be lip sync. Still to this day is one of the best lip syncs that's ever happened on Drag Race. That's not why this is at the top, because this is not an evaluation of what they looked like while lip syncing, but this did perform really well. And I do think that should be acknowledged, that this is something that looked good in movement on top of just looking good in general. So I love this look. It's really stunning. I like how the proportions are, and I think Dida's legs look a million miles long, and that's very important, I think, in these early Drag Race seasons. It might not be the best thing that's ever shown up on the runway, but it was solid. Now moving into the number 4 spot is LeSean Beyond during the Girly Girl Couture. LeSean was one of the only ones this season, I think, that was trying to give us something more. And it's kind of a disappointment that LeSean went home so early, because I have a feeling a lot of her other outfits would have given this level of camp, high fashion, out of the box thinking. When you think girly girl, I wouldn't think bubblegum. And I still don't quite understand what this has to do with being a girly girl, but I like it. And maybe that's why it was critiqued, and maybe that's why it landed in the bottom, not only because her personality was a little flat in the challenge, but this didn't really have 100% to do with being a girly girl. Like, what does chewing bubblegum have to do with being a girly girl? But I like it. Bubblegum is such a cute concept and something we've not seen executed on the runway well, ever. And LeSean did it. I think she's probably the only one that did it. I think Trinity Taylor did like a bubblegum explosion look in All Stars 4 during the pleather challenge, I think. And that was really cool. Maybe it wasn't pleather. But LeSean did this first and did this bubblegum inspired look first. It's so good with this big hair, these little bubblegum balls all along the shoulder, and then the actual bubblegum machine giving early 2000s, late 90s bubblegum things that you could buy. You could get a bubblegum machine like this in like Walmarts and stuff and have them in your home so you could have your own little candy machine. These were very common, very easy to find in the early parts of the 2000s. You don't really see these anymore. You'd probably have to go on a shifty website like Temu or something to find it. But this was so cute. And then all of this tulle. I'm a big slut for tulle. I love, love, love tulle. I incorporated it into almost all my outfits when I was still doing drag really frequently. And I just love the way that LeSean looks here. And I don't know if this should have been in the bottom, but that's my opinion. LeSean looks great. Love the silhouette. And I love that it's a themed couture piece. It's not just a outfit like so many of the other girls were wearing. Again, what does it have to do with being a girly girl? Besides being pink, not really much of anything, but I like it. And that's what matters. All right, moving into the number 3 spot is Chad Michaels, and I lied, there was a second duplicate. You can't clock this. This is the inaugural ball runway. This was during the political challenge where Chad was playing like a very silly kind of dumb Republican candidate. And I think constantly about green, yellow, there it is, red. Just because she was running out of time constantly. I severely enjoy this look. Love this high-waisted green box pleat skirt that goes all the way down to the ankles, and this color is so luxe. This beautiful satin forest green. Everything about this look is nice, even this lace at the top that gives this little bit of cleavage. I don't know if that's a breastplate, if that's contouring, and you can see exactly what the inspiration is. I think anyone would look at this look and think something sort of political, because there's something really elegant and luxe that doesn't quite look like a celebrity. The colors are giving something a little more rich, something a little more historical. And then the hair being sort of really conservative and an updo with this very casually conservative makeup. I think you very quickly understand this is something that is in the political sphere. I could see someone like Melly Grant from Scandal wearing something like this, because it's that level of forward thinking where Chad's brain was so far in the future for what politicians should look like and what media would portray politicians to look like. Even this detailing of this green on the cuff is so lovely. The little styling details with these little tiny earring that matches the necklace set and appears to match the jewelry set. Super conservative shoes. This is a solid look. Now going into the number 2 spot is this Janelle Monáe inspired Dress to Impress look from Milan. I'm sure that people are going to be mad at me for this. Milan was ahead of their time. Milan was so smart to incorporate something that wasn't necessarily drag queen. It still bothers me to this day that Milan was critiqued so heavily for doing a quote-unquote boy drag look. Nothing infuriates me more on RuPaul's Drag Race than these kind of early seasons from 4 all the way to about 8 or 9, where they were really harping on like boy drag. I think they stopped after a certain point and just sort of let androgynous drag be what it was and didn't really like get too hard on it. We can see that really plainly happen with Milk and Alaska, and I hate it. And Milan was constantly critiqued for that, and Milan should not have been critiqued for doing drag that was outside of the box or outside of gender roles. Milan should have been critiqued for doing bad in the challenge, which they did. Milan was constantly underperforming in the challenges, and that should have been it. The hair is really draggy. The makeup is still drag. The styling with this really big earring, this really big bow tie, it might not be the femme drag that Rue is looking for at the time, but it's good. It's tailored well, and I remember Rue talking about how this should have been tailored to be a woman's suit. And again, I just really hate that. If I had any critiques on this at all, it's that I wish that there was maybe more bedazzling, more rhinestones, more sparkle. But even still, this is eye-catching because it's still a good look. Every part of it looks expensive, and I think Milan was ahead of their time for this season. Way too big brain for where Drag Race was at the time. And if Milan had maybe been on season maybe like 9 or 10, I think even with their kind of wild energy, I think they would have succeeded on the runway more than they did then. Because Rue in the production was a little more open to drag. That wasn't quite the norm. But maybe it was good that Milan was in these early seasons, because it could sort of force production to look and say, well, maybe it doesn't have to be just girls all the time. Now moving into the number 1 spot, and I know y'all are going to be mad. I can already feel the anger about this one, and you know what? Frankly, I don't care. The number 1 spot is Madame LaQueer during the Apocalyptic Couture outfit challenge. God, I love this look so much. I just feel like y'all are going to be mad about this. Madame is serving foot. And here's why I like this. There's a lot of reasons. 1, it incorporates all the material from the challenge really well and executes it well. It's got a nice silhouette to it with this sweetheart neckline, belted, different interest piece to break up the animal print with the black running down the sides, so you've got a focal point. A lot of times with really strong prints like that, it's hard to draw your eye away from the animal, right? But what Madame did was break it up with these panels of black, which were probably dual purposed to also help tailor it as well, so that she had some points to seam and hem in so that it was a little more fitted and properly adhered to her body. Then there's this really nice skirt with all of the camo elements that's asymmetrical, belted in a really interesting way, well styled with the jewelry and the necklace. It's giving drag, it's giving apocalypse, it's giving I am maybe a slutty drag soldier and I'm out here to entertain the troops. Give them a little mouth, give them both hands, give them one in the back, and then also maybe go and fight a zombie at the same time, you know? This look, I don't think, made it to the top 3 because Madame was curvy. And at the time, this was all over Drag Race. Thicker, full-figured girls on Drag Race, on Project Runway, on Top Model, anything that involved competition where girls were competing against each other were always critiqued more heavy than the thin girls or the skinny ones, right? In my homosexual opinion, I feel like this happens so constantly and frequently where someone who is thinner would get away with this outfit and be praised and told it was high fashion, it was couture, it was giving the challenge, but someone who is fuller figured or curvy would not get the same recognition. And I feel like this is such a solid look. It's my number 1 for a reason because of all the little elements that she's put into it. It's constructed well. It's stylized well. The hair is nice. It's giving the challenge. You understand exactly what it's supposed to be. And this was perfect. The only problem that I really have with it are these super shiny tights. I wish that maybe there was a fishnet over it to sort of break up how shiny that is. But that's really such a mild critique. Even having the foot on the platter is a fun little detail that we've got here. And I love what Madame did. And I think it's strong. I think it's one of the best looks in the entire season. And this is something she made. This is not something she brought with her. Madame did something really thoughtful with each one of the pieces and was thoughtful in where they were all placed. And that's why I like this look. It's solid. And y'all can argue with me if you want. I will hear the criticism of what you think deserve to be number 1. But in my head and in my French vanilla Latina fantasy, this was number 1. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your top 10 looks from season 4 are. And remember, if you disagreed or didn't find one of your favorite looks in this top 10, please don't yell at me. Keep that energy to yourself and direct it in what your favorite looks were. Remember to check out some of the other ones, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We're getting into the All-Stars seasons now, so we'll be getting into All-Stars 1 next time we do this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the flip. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to click that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Goodbye.